Happiness is the most difficult and simplest concept in this world, overloaded with facts. I don't know about your reactions, but don't you get a serious facial expression when you hear the word fact? In schools, we are usually bombed with tons of super important information, as if our lives depend on knowing it. Or statements like, it's a fact. Or, according to these facts. Or, based on the fact, or facts that. Come on, world. Chill out for a while. We are not saying that we should put our heads in sand like ostriches, but the insistence on knowing this, knowing that, day in, day out. It's overwhelming for our transitional stay on this beautiful planet of ours. It seems that our life circulates in between two poles. There is the cold pole of facts, which are necessary for functioning in the modern world. Plus, knowledge is power. But have you ever wondered what kind of power? Power doesn't mean powerful, at least not in the sense of living life to the fullest. Here we have approached the opposite pole, the warm pole of thriving simplicity and happiness. Nevertheless, we should be realistic, as all of us keep trying to achieve some satisfactory balance between these two poles, between countable facts and uncountable happiness. As opposite things attract, and can result in successful relations, the same goes for the following happy facts, which can lighten and brighten your day. Probably you have already heard about some of them. Generally speaking, babies sleep most of the time. In total, they sleep around 5,400 hours in the first 12 months of their lives. And, long before speaking, these little humans learn to laugh and smile. It seems as if all of us had known the essence of life, but somehow we have been neglecting these perfections over the years. Knowing that smiling can lower stress, can encourage you to do so today. Stress is always waiting for you in the ambush, but make some effort to surprise it with a smile on your face. The reasons for smiling are as numerous as our stresses. Apart from laughing and smiling, cuddle people you love. In this way, you can trigger the release of a useful hormone, oxytocin. Cuddling is something that hens do with their babies in eggshells. Not only that, there are all sorts of communication between hens and chicks before they hatch. What's more, chicks-siblings talk among one another while still in shells. This way, they warn one another of possible dangers. At a certain point in their developmental stage, some creatures start sucking. Similar to human babies who suck on their thumbs, baby elephants suck on their trunks. Like human babies, baby chimpanzees sometimes make dolls out of sticks. They enjoy playing with these toys. Among some similarities between people and chimpanzees, there is this willingness to help in trouble. Chimps may want to help you if they see that you are struggling to reach some branch or fruit, for example. Most probably, they will not abandon you. Just as squirrels will not abandon other squirrel babies, they will adopt them. Yet we are not certain that animals would choose a human and entrust them with the leading position. The opposite has already happened. Namely, there is a town in Alaska which had a cat, Mr. Stubbs, as its honorary mayor for 17 years. We don't know how the lucky cat expressed his joy, but if it had been a duck, then he or she would have shaken their tail. It would have probably occurred during eating and drinking water. If the honorary mayor had been a dog, they would have sneezed. Next time you see a dog sneezing, it is not because of dust, but due to their excitement and play-fighting spirit. You have certainly heard about the crucial importance of these insects that produce honey. Well, they can hold their hook like hands together. They do this before they fly away. It is not a bad idea to ponder over and implement, right? By holding hands together, people can do wonderful things, out of which saving these bees should be priority. There is one more similarity between animals, this time goats, and humans. The goats have different accents, which depend on their origins, that is, where they come from. Regardless of the region they come from, sperm whales have this amazing characteristic of never forgetting their best friends, thanks to their memories. So, even if they don't see their friends for a long time, they will never forget them. Maybe some of these whales have visited a Japanese island on their voyages, and have met some friendly rabbits, which have encouraged them to nurture these feelings of long-lasting friendships. In case you are in Japan, ask around and visit Okinoshima, the island, inhabited by rabbits who were used for testing purposes. Now they are free and rule over the island. You can also expect amiable reactions from sociable quokkas, which are the happiest animals in the world. Speaking of sociability, there is a fact that owning one guinea pig is illegal in Switzerland. You need to keep at least 2 of them. It's definitely a humane reaction. When you hear the word Vikings, your first image might not be the one of kindness and amiability, but rather the vision of brave, fearless warriors. Despite the awe and fear because of their deeds, these people were really sweet at wedding ceremonies. According to the Nordic tradition, they were supposed to give kittens as wedding presents. But we haven't heard about the kissing tradition at Nordic weddings yet. You can hear kisses from Hershey Kisses, as the sound of them being dropped on the conveyor belt is like the sound of a kiss. To show his love for his daughter, astronaut Eugene Cernan did something more unique. This lovely dad wrote the initials of his daughter on the moon. After that, he probably had to go through customs, just as Neil Armstrong did after his return from the moon. Remember this next time you go through customs. We are sure you remember this golden-hearted man and his soothing voice. Well, Mr. Fred Rogers was a true representative of his original profession of an ordained Presbyterian minister. Humble, quiet, positive, patient, respectful. In order to practically show respect for all people, regardless of any differences, there is a village in the Netherlands, which was created especially for helping people who have problems with dementia. All of us witness a continuous world economic crisis, especially nowadays due to this pandemic. You can hear this GDP more frequently, as if it would be of any help to ordinary citizens. Instead of the worry-triggering concept of GDP, gross domestic product, the government officials should start dealing with the concept of GNH, gross national happiness. This concept was coined by a Bhutanese king, and encompasses the elements of health, education, and overall psychological state. Yes, the world is truly amazing with all these behaviors, endeavors, emotions. These 25 facts make a perfect symphony, that is, harmony. It is up to us to listen to it, and learn or revise its music notes, and spread these vibes around. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like and comment. Stay awesome.